Hello everybody, I'm Farmer Dan and welcome to Farming Simulator 17. This is my first video, so there's going to be a lot of things you're going to wonder about, but hopefully I can explain everything. So we're currently on the American Outback Special Edition map. So I'll give you a quick tour of the farm here. So this is one of our storage sheds, and it has the seed, liquid fertilizer, and solid fertilizer silos. Those already come standard on the map. I don't use them. You'll see why later. We currently have the Lizard SX710 Twin Star with the Chandler seed and fertilizer tender. This mod is unique in that it actually allows you to, even though it considers it two separate trailers, it actually has both in what appears to be one trailer, so that's pretty neat. Going around here, we have some more storage buildings. In here we have our Krone Big L 500 mower, self-collecting of course. Very nice mod. We have our Wilson grain trailer. Hopper bottom is using US, can hold, I want to say 90,000 liters. We have our liquid fertilizer storage. Later on that'll be replaced by a different style silo. When we first started this map, we were using a liquid fertilizer mod where you had to use the actual nitrate and water and make your own and then transfer it to this silo. So currently we're just going to use up what we have left in there. We have our Garant tanker. This actually needs to be repainted to a different color, and it's got our liquid fertilizer in it. We've got a New Holland T5 tractor that pulled that. Another building over there that's empty. Here you have our digestate / fermenter silo. So here you load any of these items and it produces silage and digestate. The silage we sell at the BGA, and then the digestate we use for our seed production. So for our seed production, you put digestate in here, you put whatever grain you want to in here, and then it produces seed, which is what that actually says, fertilizer, and then over here you have your liquid fertilizer. I apologize for the background noise. That was my phone. I forgot to put it on silent. And then over here in this shed we have a New Holland T7. We've actually just recently purchased that with wheel weights. We have the roller for ground modification. We'll show you what we did with that a little later. And then we have the Joskin Wago loader bale trailer. Give me just a second here. I'll mute my phone so we don't hear that in the background anymore. And then I have the MT Tank Tech trailer. Currently it holds spring water. The unique thing about this is, depending on what you put in it, this skin on the outside of this will actually change. Then we have our Garant, another tanker trailer that is currently holding, that I use that for digestate to transport it from this production to that production. I apologize, I just realized there's probably a mouse cursor in the middle of your screen. So you're going to see me going into my recorder, and I can't change that option, so we'll just have to deal with it. So we'll go ahead and hop over to our fast tab over to our other vehicles. So here we have a Big Bud tractor. It is the 450, and it is hauling our planter and sower. And then we have our Big Bud, or Big Brute, from Welker Farms, the Big Brute fertilizer sprayer. Next to that, in this building, we have our two weeders. A lot of people have the misconception that the weeders don't actually do anything, but they actually count as a fertilizer state to your field if you do it in the first stage of crops, like our canola over here in this field. This is the only field we own, but it adds a fertilizer state to your crops if you have the 3 fertilizer states enabled. However, you have to make sure you do them in the right order. We'll talk more about that later. We have our Case IH harvester, the 7130 actual flow with 30-foot header, and then our header trailer here. Also elsewhere around the map, we'll go to our vehicle groups, which are here. I believe I covered everything. Yep. I forgot we have our Caterpillar CT660. This is an edit by Blaze. What he's done is he's changed some of the lighting. I'll show you here. He's added this strobe bar up top. You can activate it like this, and it has the strobes. and it also has the rear light as well as the turn signals, and the flashers are on that bar as well. So very, very nice mod. He actually has quite a few versions of this. One's a flatbed. He also has a fuel tanker. Oh, you'll notice the front grille also has strobes. So, and then the mirrors, when you turn on the blinkers, they actually change as well. So it's a very, very nice mod. So currently there's an issue at the BGA, so we're going to go ahead and jump to our conveyor belt. We have the Lizard S710 conveyor belt. It's actually a mod, 200,000 liters it holds, and then we have a normal thing back there, and then we have a Lizard light trailer in the background there. So what we're going to be doing today, as you can see, is it's late autumn. So, and like I said, this is my first video. So what we're going to be doing today is I think we're actually going to go and buy Field 2. I've been wanting to put in to move my production from the farm to another field, and I think Field 2 is close enough. Actually, we'll see what the farmer has planted here first. Let's see what he's got. We'll use this seat from the season mod. We'll go ahead and click on his field, and he's got barley. So actually, I think we'll work for him, and we'll let this grow out, and we'll buy this at the end of the season. So let's go ahead and do this mission. I also use a couple other mods. I use the GPS mod mainly when I'm doing work for farmers. So you'll go ahead and see me use that for this job right here. As you see, he's got the row crop or the thin tires. So we'll go ahead and do this job. Oh, dropped the weight. Didn't hit that up. I promise I have been playing this game quite a long time. So we'll go ahead and unfold this. Go ahead and turn our GPS mod on. We'll have to rotate it, of course. So go ahead and rotate that 90 and do the auto width. Take off the offset. I don't know why it does that. And we'll just pull this forward. We'll go ahead and turn on some beacons and some lights as it's still kind of dark. And then we'll get this lined up here, and we'll start spraying. So actually, we're just going to shift this course over. For those of you who haven't used the GPS mod, shift the course, and then you line it up, and then just let the GPS go do its thing. So we'll put that about right there. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this backed up and get it lined up with the green line here. Drive forward. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. I think we're going to shoot for about 30 minutes. I haven't learned how to do time lapse and things like that yet, so it's just at the mercy of what I can get done in that time frame. So turn on the GPS here. We'll go ahead and turn on the sprayer. Use the mouse and make it a little more realistic and lower it some, and then we'll set our cruise control and let it do its work. Now we can, if you want, down here in these settings, you can do the infield mode, set it to just stop, or set it to automatically turn. We'll go ahead and set it to automatically turn and see how it does. If it doesn't do very good, then I will change it and just do it manually and then reset the GPS. So just a moment, please. Sorry about that. I had to get a drink of water. Oh, this is going. I'm just gonna check some messages and see. Alrighty, so we're to the end of the field now. So we'll go ahead and we'll see how it's not doing bad at turnaround. Also, I've been looking, there's a mod out there, some of you may have used it, that depending on the sprayer, it'll let you control which section of the boom is currently spraying. Now I'm not sure if that's something that farmers can do in real life. I haven't really researched it. I would hope that they could. That way they don't waste fertilizer if they've only got a small section of a field left to do. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll let this continue here. Throughout the video I will be muting my mic and not talking so I can take care of some other things, or if I sneeze, I've got some allergies going on right now, so, and I don't want y'all to be get surprised by that and go deaf. So we'll go ahead and let this run itself out. I'm going to go ahead and mute this mic real quick so I can blow my nose. Alright everybody, I'm back. So what we're going to do here is that when this tractor gets to the end of the field, it's going to try and do another row, mainly on the outside, and it might be too wide and the boom might catch the trees. So once we get to the field here, we'll go ahead and turn the GPS off, and we'll manually turn it around and reset the course so that we just catch the end of the field, and we'll be double spraying some things, but that'll be okay. So we'll go ahead and turn the sprayer off here, manually swing it around to where it just catches that field edge right there. Back this up a little, and then we'll just go ahead and turn the GPS off and do this manually on our own, just to finish this up. We currently don't have any animals or anything like that, so work on that for the way. Excuse me. Sorry about that, I had something stuck in my throat. But as you can see, we finished and he rewarded us for $1,404. No time bonus on this version of this map. That's unfortunate, but it works. So now that brings this field cost down to $130,000. So we'll just let it grow out, and then once we buy the field, we'll harvest it and get the grain and everything for ourselves. It's kind of a cheating way to do it, but why let a good crop go to waste, right? Actually, we might harvest it for him and then buy the field. I think that's probably what we'll do. So you'll see that in the later video. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to head back to the farm here. As you can see over here in the chickens, we have the egg collector. So what that does is it automatically collects the eggs from the chickens, so you don't have to sit there running around trying to find all the eggs. Whereas most farmers in real life would have something like that, or they wouldn't be all over the farmyard. So what we're going to do today is everything's full. I made the mistake forgetting that winter. Turn these lights off here. The battery's not dead. I made the mistake of not emptying out my seed and fertilizer tender. I currently don't have the silo space to store those. Later on in the game, I will be buying some other silo areas that are mods and some other storage buildings once I buy that field. So let's see here. So later on I will be buying, I currently have this. These came from a pack that allow you to actually mix your own liquid fertilizer. What you do is you take this right here, and just like you do with the animal feed mixers for the power food for the cows and things, you put water and nitrum into this. The nitrum will either come from this tank right here, which is a tower. You fill it up into a you can drive that barrel directly up to it, or you can use a shovel, or or an auger wagon even, and fill this up from the tower and put it into that mixing barrel. Or you can buy the nitrum pallets for a considerable cheaper amount, and those are actually right here. You would buy these, and it would you get the ratio right, and it creates a liquid fertilizer, and you can't mess up the ratio. I found the ratio is actually a good ratio is about 16,000 liters of water, and then 4,000 liters of nitrum, and that's a good mixture. So that was when I was doing that, and I stored it all here. So I currently still have quite a bit left of what I mixed myself, 52,000 liters. But then I purchased the seed and fertilizer reduction. So yeah, we've already toured this. So, or did we? Well, just in case. So yeah, so this is the seed and fertilizer production. So yeah, and it actually creates its own liquid fertilizer. Now later on, we could purchase an add-on for this, to where it actually makes our own fuel. So we might do that later on. Pretty much make some biofuel out of the digestate. Later on, when we have the room, we might purchase that. And then, as I was talking about, we're going to place some other storage areas. So I'll either purchase these seed and fertilizer bins, which I've tested on another map. We'll also purchase the water storage, so we have water for our animals. The downfall of this map is, as you can see, there's no real good area to get water from, as it's all cliffs. There are a couple areas I found, so later on I might refine one of those so we can get free water. Otherwise, you have to purchase it from the water tower, which is behind our shed directly in front of us, and that costs money, and I'm not a big fan of paying for water. So we'll probably do that later on. We already have in here, we have that water tanker, so we can just do trips until our collector gets full. It also collects water when it rains, so I'm not sure how much it collects, but that'll be nice. So as it is currently late autumn, we planted some canola. This is the first time I've used seasoned mod, so hopefully it will last through the winter. But yeah, so we'll do that, and then we're gonna, like I said, we'll purchase those fertilizer bins, and we'll use those to store our crop, or we'll use those to store our seed and fertilizer that we produce, so that we can have them for later. So currently, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and I think it's time that we purchased a small grain truck. I currently have one I'm thinking about purchasing. It's a Ford, so that I can use it to haul grain from my silos to my seed production. There was another mod I was going to use, but there were some issues with it, so I went ahead and deleted it. So I think we will just go ahead and use we could use Winston's grain truck. It holds 10,000 liters. Or there's also, we could get a tractor and a tipper to that, although I'm a big fan of self-propelled. So we could use, I believe that I have a Unimog in here. Could use the Unimog. It holds 4,500. That'd be a lot of trips, unfortunately. We could also use the Peterbilt 389. The only issue with this truck, besides that it only holds, it holds 26,000. The only other issue I have with this truck is when the modder made it, they made, I would never be able to do an interior view with this vehicle because of the modder put something on the screen in there that is inappropriate for younger viewers. So I doubt I'll be purchasing that. I think 145,000 is kind of high priced. As with a lot of mods, they kind of make their own price. So I think what we'll do is we will just purchase. Let me make sure that other mod didn't get erased. No. Also, our other option would be in some type of AR vehicle. There's quite a few tippers in here. They're a high price, but they hold 30,000 liters, and we already have quite a few AR trailers. So yeah, it's a multi-logger. Okay. So yeah, I think what I'll do for now is it will be. I think we'll actually just purchase a tipper trailer for this purpose. Thinking the one that's New Holland can pull fairly well, that holds a good amount of crop. That New Holland, the T5 we have is currently kind of small, so I don't want to overload it, but it is only going a short distance, so I haven't used that one too much. What to do? So yeah, I think the easiest thing we'll do would be just to purchase that Ford grain truck. I'll look around for a better option to use, but for now we'll just use Winston's Ford grain truck mod. So we'll go ahead and purchase this. As you see, we can't change anything on it, which is unfortunate, but so we're going to purchase that. and then we'll go ahead and we'll just teleport to that. Not realistic, but we'll go ahead and teleport to this and turn on some lights here. That's the one thing I don't like about it is that. But we'll go ahead and take this to the farm and get some grain into our seed production. So we'll go ahead and do the interior view. This actually looks, very, very nice. I don't know where there's a fire extinguisher in the floor, but that says love tractors and beer. It's kind of different. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and take this to our farm and take care of that. So there's our field just to the right. So we currently have canola planted in. Actually, we'll stop by and use the mod and check out that field state to see how it's doing. This mod is kind of realistic in that it sounds like a diesel when it is definitely not. So we'll just go ahead and pull in here real quick and see how our crops are doing. Go ahead and check on them. Go ahead and shut the truck off here. So this is I think it comes with the seasons mod. Pretty much allows you to go to the field. We'll get the stats. So as you can see, we're 13.4 meters above sea level. With canola, it's at 17%. I haven't figured out what this one means yet. I'm guessing that's the crop moisture percentage, 10%. It's only fertilized 67%. That was because we have it set on 3 crop stages, and I made an error when I planted them. And then the ground moisture is 8%. So overall, not bad. Those crops won't be ready to harvest until spring. I'm hoping they survive the winter. So we'll go ahead and hop back in the truck here and head to the farm. I apologize if you hear my burps during the video. It's something I've been dealing with. So we'll go ahead and continue on back to the farm. So for those of you that haven't toured this map, I'm not very good at doing first looks or map tours, so I'm sure there's plenty of other ones out there on YouTube. Go and take a look at those, and every farm site's different. Let's read a little here. So as you can see, what I was saying is if you look at the water, it's kind of foggy, but there's a lot of cliffs. So I think what I'll do later on, I'm going to try and find a point that has decent access where I can drive down. I'll have to clear out some trees so I can get the free water. That'll be something that I worry about later on. Like I said, I don't like paying for water. There's plenty of mods I could get out there that would allow me to get free water, but I just like to take the water truck down, and I like the challenge. So we're going to take the right here to get to our farm, and then we'll come up here to the silo. And then I think we've got quite a bit of wheat in our silo. We're actually waiting until winter to sell it. It's when the price is best and it's in demand. So we'll just go ahead and pull this up under here. Doors open, that's nice. So put this up under here, and then we'll load it up with some wheat. We'll probably do about 2 truckloads here to keep our seed production sustained. So there we go, all full. So we'll just cut through this shed right here. Actually, I'll go and, you might have noticed it, but we'll go back down to the other field so I can show you what I did with the ground modification roller. We'll go ahead and pull up on here. Go to the exterior view. Back up a little. We'll go ahead and unload this here. Yeah, that texture's plane's a little off there for it coming out the door. So if I knew how to fix that, I would, but I don't. So there you go, that's better. So go ahead and fill this up. Wait for that to come back down. We'll go and go for another round at our silo. So fuel gauge says empty, but we're full. So we'll pull back under here and grab another wheat. I'll take us down to 150,000. Still a good amount to have in reserve. do the same trip again, and then we'll park this truck up in probably in one of our sheds. Not sure which one yet, so we'll go ahead and pull this back onto here. And we'll unload it once again. So we'll hop out real quick and look at the screen. Oh, I'm stuck in the wall. There we go. So as you can see, it tells us everything. The grain, as you can see, this is all in Russian. So later on, if I figure out how to fix it, I will. But for now, we'll go. So as you can see, we've currently got 50,000 liters of digestate and 19,000 liters of grain. For products, we've got 16,000 fertilizer, 24,000 liters of liquid fertilizer, and 28,000 liters of seed. So we're getting a pretty good stockpile going. I'm not actually sure what the max on this is, but we'll figure that out later. So we'll go ahead and park this in one of our, probably park this in over in here. If you'll excuse me real quick, I'm gonna mute the mic while I never mind. Thought I had to sneeze, but we'll go ahead and put this in here. Right there should be good. Turn off the lights. Alright, it looks like the sun's coming on. It's mid-afternoon. So we'll go ahead and how much digestate was in there? So we'll go ahead and give this thing another load of digestate. So we'll grab our T7 here, start it up, put some lights on so we can see, and then we'll grab our digestate tanker right here, and it's already got 20,000 liters in it. So we'll just pull over here. I don't know why they chose to use this style of unloading spot. Maybe that's just what the modder used. I would have used just a normal, some type of round tank like that black one, maybe a different color though. But this works, so we'll just go ahead and back this up, make it kind of realistic, and then we'll unload that into there. So, and we'll probably do a couple loads of that just to try and get this. I could top this factory completely off, but I don't really see the point. We're going to go on the road here, so we'll turn on some beacons real quick. When I placed these, it was kind of temporary and it kind of became permanent. But later on, once we buy that field, we'll bite the bullet and we'll get everything out of these. That's the purpose of the silos. We'll get everything out of them so we can temporarily store it, and then we'll build new production facilities. So change my mode here. I do use the. Oh, it doesn't support the hose system. That's unfortunate. I really like the hose system mod. Some tankers support it, some don't. This actually will support it if I were to use another tanker similar to that one straight in front of us. So unfortunately this one does not. So we'll just have to deal with that. I might buy a different tanker later on. I actually have several options thanks to a slurry pack I downloaded. It's right in here. Oh no, wrong. It's actually in slurry. For some reason I can't seem to find right now. Oh, there it is, slurry tank. So there are quite a few different mods for that. These are all pretty good, but some of them are kind of weird with their unloading properties. So, but we'll worry about that later. So for now, we'll just use what we have with the AR pack, and we'll consider purchasing a different one later. That one would probably be a good one if I had an extra semi to pull it, which I might here shortly. So we might just switch to that to do this transferring. So we'll go ahead and dump this in there as well. And that should take care of that for a while. And then we'll just park it back in the shed. A lot of people ask now why would you have a bunch of different tanks instead of just one. That's because I like the different tanks. I like to have one for everything. So turn the beacons off here. I'll go ahead and back this in. Probably won't be perfect, but we'll get it in there. A little more. That'd be good. So we'll go ahead and make sure we have the right thing selected. Disconnect that. I do need to get a pressure washer eventually. And then we'll just go ahead and park this back in here. Now the one thing I did forget to do is I use vehicle group switcher as well. So we'll have to put that forward under our vehicle groups eventually. Well, I think that's going to wrap up my first video. It's kind of just an introduction. So if I like how it turned out, then I'll post it, and eventually you'll be watching it. So if I do upload it, feel free to comment and let me know what you think, what I can do different. But anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good one.